Ok, bella raga, siamo di nuovo su The Outer Worlds. Sì, allora, Tartaro. Denti sporchi. Vedo che sono ostilissimi qua, va bene, non ho problemi. Ok, ma se la caviamo tanto. Ciao. Tutto qua? Mamma mia. Dov'è? Sono qua sopra gli altri? Bravo. Insomma, un bel po' di roba da vendere. Vediamo. Ok, vendi. Mm, a posto. Per ora. Che c'è qua? Salve. Oh merda. Perfetto. Mm, ok. Ah, ce n'è uno là. Chi è? Bravo. Andiamo. È giusto? Sì, è giusto, ok.
This might be the loneliest place in the whole system.
Bravi. Madonna, in profondità proprio.
Let's look around.
Ci deve esserci qualche modo per spostarci. Vai. Bello, mi è piaciuto. Ok. Oh. Andiamo, andiamo. Ok. Che è questo? Perché si fa male? Oh. Ma quello si è nascosto. Chi è? Chi è? Chi è? Chi è? Vai. Grazie. Insomma. Vai. Questo. Sì, va bene, va bene. Chi è? Ah no, scusa. No, scusa. Ce ne sono altri? Chi è? Di qua dice. Dov'è? Dov'è? Perfetto. Madonna, quante robe. No, ho eliminato uno da 113. Vabbè. Lo ritroverò. Lo riprenderò sti cazzi. Andrei su da là. Cos'è questo? Ok. È là sotto? Vabbè, sti cazzi. Ma può cadere un robot? Voglio vedere. Ah, lui non si fa male per quando... Oh madonna. Già salito. Oh. Andiamo, transizione verso il pozzo. Ci sono nemici. Ma se... Cosa posso fare, Ok. Ah, va bene. Ah, io prendo tutto e sti cazzi. Salve. No, è più bello sparare, avete ragione. Madonna. Erano distrutti. Porca vacca. Dobbiamo andare di là. No, aspetta. Oh, no, era di lì, scusa. Ah. Dobbiamo prendere questo, ok, andiamo. Ok, di là. Perfetto. E quello? Tutto si è sciolto. Ok. Oh mamma. Ok. Non si può andare. Fammi vedere. Vabbè, questa non le uso. Però fa 2,95. Così. No. Questa, sono 42. No, no. Via. Tuta 84, 81. Ok. No, aspetta che... Ok, riparato tutto. Cosa c'è qua? Nemici? Oh madonna. Che è? Ok. Madonna. Questo quanto fa? 84, 102. Potenziandolo potrebbe superarlo, sinceramente. Dobbiamo aspettare. Sam? Ah, lo posso potenziare. Aumenti il valore. Efficacia dell'abilità di potenziare quando siamo nel gruppo. 7 abilità disponibili. Aumenta i danni inflitti da questo compagno quando usiamo una distanza. Usare tutti questo compagno quando effetti. Riduce la reputazione negativa per l'uccisione quando Sam è nel gruppo. Aumenta i danni inflitti dalla capacità di questo compagno. Questo compagno cambia le ricariche le armi molto più rapidamente. Quanti danni inflitti? Tu e i tuoi compagni subite danni ridotti dalle fonti di raggi N quando siamo nel gruppo. Quando questo compagno viene battuto in combattimento riguadagna... gli effetti di combattimento della posizione di questo compagno durano più a lungo. Ok. Non pensavo che avesse già cose. Va bene, perfetto. Ok.
Well, look who it is.
Rockwell.
I'll be damned. I was prepping the studio for our announcement, and here you are as a bonus. I had heard you'd taken a mechanic under your wing. What's the matter, girl? Couldn't find actual employment?
I'm exactly where I want to be.
Lo ammazza.
And... oh, I had heard you were dragging around a repurposed janitorial mechanic.
Interactive database
Sono
update.
una condizione come
The
presidente è stata
organic
fatta come
substance
sui
labeled
diciume prossimo
10 has been
all'incenerimento.
classified as Phil.
When you go off and
Quando
get yourself shot,
ti fai
try to avoid
sparare, sai che
taking
non
one to the face.
in faccia, voglio che
I'll
sia
want to
riconosciuto come una
recognize
fatta dei miei
it to my
cittadini.
citizens.
Lo voglio morto,
I'm not in your way, you
seduto su da me.
dullard.
Se vuoi morire
You
non
talk
farti
to
gloria,
me.
accomodati. E
Besides,
poi non so cosa credi
I
di
don't
fare
know
qui, ma
what you
Sofia
could
sta
do
facendo un
here, but
ottimo lavoro
Sophia's doing
lassù.
good work up there,
Confini,
Phineas.
i tuoi sforzi saranno vani. Boh, a posto.
Job fulfilled.
Ok. Andiamo.
Here they come!
Che c'è? Che c'è? Che c'è? Che c'è?
Putting trash in its rightful place for more than 70 years.
Altri nemici? Là in fondo?
Clean cycle back to industrial stain.
Li ha uccisi? Ah.
Nothing personal, I swear.
Invasive contaminants detected.
No, questo è Parvati. Non lo vedo. Aspetta. Ah, brava. Oh, brava, brava. Minchia, vi siete proprio teletrasportati. Bravi.
Here we go!
That will leave a stain. Centrifuge mode activated.
Dobbiamo andare di là, di qua. Ah, aspetta, dammi, giusto che poi rivendo tutto. Chi è?
Caution! Infestation encroaching.
Don't mess with us.
Ah,
Gotta blast them all together.
vai.
Sanitization incoming.
Morti? Sì, bravi. Andiamo.
Really doing this, huh?
Sì.
Difficult job ahead? Consider equipping a pack of Sam's special
E quantità
solvent stain
smacchia tutto
remover.
insieme e spiega
It's
quanto schizzi di
ruthless
sangue
on
residui.
residual blood splatter.
Ma? Non l'ho capito.
Captain,
Hai un discutibile
you have an
talento.
uncanny talent for complicating my life. You've disrupted the balance of power. You've upset the natural order of things. You've introduced uncertainty, and there is nothing I despise more than uncertainty. Typical. Running your mouth in the middle of a crisis. It's almost as if you delight in chaos. I should have dealt with you a long time ago. You were always too dangerous to leave unchecked.
Possiamo darci una mossa a una colonia da salvare.
Leaving you alive was my greatest mistake. But it is a mistake I intend to correct. I have Dr. Wells
Dopo
in
che mi
my
sarò registrato la
custody.
sovravalutazione potrò fare
Once I
avanzare il
secure
programma,
his
potrò riparare i danni che
cooperation,
hai causato, potrò
I can
rimettere
move
le cose a
forward with the
posto.
program. I can repair the damage you've done. I can set things right.
Ok, non mi è entusiasta l'idea di ucciderti già sta... No, non ti fa bene. Tu non capisci, finisci mio amico, non me ne andrò senza di lui.
Well, that's mostly correct. You're not leaving here at all. I
Vabbè,
take no pleasure in this, you know.
altra scelta.
Leaving you
Lasciarti in
alive
vita è
is
un
too
rischio
great a
troppo
risk.
grande. Addio, capitano.
Goodbye.
Oh, ma vaffanculo.
If you insist. This prison
C'è una
is
difesa da un
equipped
custode
with an
automeccanico, l'ho programmato per
automechanical
eliminarti a
warden.
vista di
I've had
sperare
it
i tuoi
programmed
resti
to
nelle
eliminate you
fogne.
on site and rinse your remains down a drain. And
E non
don't
può farti
worry.
informare del
I
tuo
will
West che sei
inform
morto
Dr.
da eroe
Wells
o
that you
qualcosa del
died
genere.
heroically.
Ok, me ne frego il cazzo, io vengo lì e ti strappo le ossa. Andiamo, via. Ah, e anche questo. Che è il meccanico? Vabbè. Tutto qua? Tutto qua? Insomma.
Why won't you just...
Get me out of here!
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You did the right thing. Akande was a monster. Her death was much deserved, and long overdue. And you lunatic, you broke into the board's own fortress just to rescue one doddering old man. You are absolutely out of your mind, and I can't begin to thank you enough.
Stai bene? Cosa ti hanno fatto? Stai scherzando? Così non avere nessuna possibilità contro di me. Ho dovuto passare per venire a salvare. Sai che non permetterei mai che ti cadesse qualcosa. Ok.
I know, my friend, I know. And now it's finally over. The board's finished. It's only a matter of time before the entire system slips from their grasp. You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's still so much we have yet to accomplish. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is far worse than any of us ever anticipated.
Tutto non mi piace affatto, grandioso. Io che volevo stappare una bottiglia per festeggiare.
I would like nothing more than to celebrate this victory, but we have a serious problem on our hands. Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals, nothing. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
You mean... we're all alone out here? Really alone?
I'm afraid so, Miss Holcomb. Halcyon is the only home we have left. Returning to Earth is no longer an option. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own. Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing. You've succeeded where anyone else would have failed, including me. We must begin the revival process immediately, starting with the Hope's brightest minds, and then we're going to fix this damn colony, one problem at a time. We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the job than you. What do you say, old friend? will you help us?
Sì, farò quello che ho sempre fatto, qualsiasi cosa mi passi per la testa in ogni momento. Qualcuno deve pur guidare la colonia, sono l'unica persona che è rimasta, puoi contare su di me, ti aiuterò a svegliare altri
I
coloni.
can't tell you how glad I am to hear that. When I revived you, I thought we were going to save this colony all by ourselves. But I was wrong. We can't save Halcyon on
In
our
qualche modo
own.
dobbiamo tutti
We're all
fare la
going to have to
nostra
pull
parte.
together. So, we
Ok,
are not a colony anymore. Our last
non so se
connection
ci
to Earth
sopravviveremo,
has
ma
been
dobbiamo fare del
severed.
nostro
I
meglio.
don't know if we'll survive, but we're going to have to try our best.
L'ordine delle inquisizioni istitutive insegna che l'universo è toccato secondo il grande piano, ma lo straniero arrivato dal giorno si rivelò una variabile impazzita.
Was an unplanned variable. From the moment
In
he
cui
landed
giunse
in
a
Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes
rimediare ai danni
haunt the
compiuti chiederà
colony
all'impegno
for
di un'intera
decades to come.
generazione.
The damage they
Comunque la
left
speranza
behind would require the
era un
work of
troll
a
di pianeti
generation
che
to
Terra avesse
repair.
inviato tra le stelle.
Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no choice but to band together and devote themselves to the cause of saving Halcyon. The people of Halcyon were nothing if not hardy. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for its own destiny. Left leaderless, the people of Stellar Bay and Amber Heights were slowly but inevitably picked apart by the wildlife of Monarch. Left unchecked, the war on Monarch consumed both MSI and the Iconoclasts. And when the sulfur clouds settled, only stragglers from both factions remained. Some found their way to Sublight, some to Terra 2, and some lived their final years fighting for food in the wilderness. In the end, only the beasts remained. Without Lilia Hagen, Sublight Salvage fell apart. The company fractured, devolving into a series of unregulated criminal gangs.
Quindi sono le mie
fences,
scelte
and smugglers.
queste.
Their facade of legitimacy quickly faded. In time, the Sublight family was forgotten. The collapse of Edgewater left its workers bereft of any purpose in life. Most of them made their way to Adelaide McDevitt's camp, hoping to ingratiate themselves into her favor. Adelaide accepted only a few to her community. The rest were turned away and likely died of starvation. Nevertheless, Adelaide's camp grew into a well-established town. Adelaide McDevitt refused to cooperate with the ongoing effort to save Halcyon from collapse. A sympathetic deserter stole a copy of her research and delivered it to the Hope's scientists. It is unclear how useful Adelaide's research was. An optimistic estimate suggests her work may have bought Halcyon another few years of survival. Adelaide would never know. She died that winter. The loss of Junlei Tennyson hit the Groundbreaker hard, and even threatened to undercut the ship's independence. Taking up the example of their fallen captain, citizens banded together and rallied anew for the Groundbreaker's autonomy. Junlei was remembered as a folk hero, the spark that ignited a flame, heralding a new age of proud defiance against anyone who would challenge the Groundbreaker's sovereignty. The rediscovery of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries they'd grown accustomed to, the board's diminished authority gave them little choice in the matter. Nearly everyone had to learn to make do with less. Some even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. Even the Gorgon asteroid, though
Sulla strada del Gorgone, nonostante fosse sconosciuto chiuso al Ciao.
of your actions. The destroyed Adrenatime synthesizer became a symbol of the board's cruelty and a rallying point for Wells and his scientists as they sought to build a more humane
Madonna.
Halcyon. They
Però ha fatto una cosa giusta, dai.
laboratories and repurposed them to aid in the crucial work of solving the colony's nutrition crisis. The abandoned research facility on Gorgon remained a place of chaos, a draw for smugglers looking for salvage, and ill-fated freelancers hoping for a payday. In spite of everything, the Gorgon asteroid remained a sobering reminder of the potential for progress and disaster in humanity's most ambitious efforts. The Rizzo's company in Halcyon dissolved after the collapse of the board. Needless to say, the launch of Spectrum Brown was indefinitely delayed. A stockpile of Spectrum Brown remains buried deep beneath the ruins of the old distillery, abandoned to time and attrition. After a brief attempt at dating Helen as one person rather than two, which both Bertie and Helen found too strange, Bertie struck out on his own to try his hand at raising woolly cows. Many of his former Rangers teammates soon followed, accompanied by the woolly cow the team had originally plied with alcohol. The dairy farm thrived under Bertie's leadership and care. The Dairy Rangers privately believed that the woolly cows softened Bertie's temper considerably, although the only one brave enough to say this to his face was promptly headbutted. After Junlei's murder, Parvati turned inward. She was merely quiet at first, and she wouldn't speak unless spoken to. Eventually, she stopped speaking at all. Once the matter of the Hope colonists was resolved, she slipped unobtrusively from the Unreliable during a refueling stopover. She took nothing from her berth and left no word of where she'd gone. Nyoka returned to Monarch to take another crack at making a permanent life for herself. She formed the Charon Group, a mercenary outfit of ragtag survivalists and wilderness experts. Anyone in need of a guide or just looking to throw back a beer and swap stories could find her camping on the trail or clearing an infestation. The SAM unit that accompanied you spread awareness of the product line's superior sanitation and maintenance capabilities across what was left of the colony. This led to a boost in SAM unit sales. Did you know that SAM units are the longest-lasting, toughest-acting cleaning solution in Halcyon? As for Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. Though he was always haunted by the failures of his past, he was determined to make things right by building toward the future. Dr. Wells was able to revive many more scientists and engineers than he first expected, thanks to the additional batch of chemicals you stole from the Ministry. Wells never forgot about the human lives that were lost in acquiring these chemicals. The revival project was hard and painful work, but in the end, despite limited resources, over half the Hope's colonists were successfully revived. Even after Wells passed away, the Hope scientists and engineers worked night and day to pull Halcyon from the brink of collapse. Their efforts continue to this day, which may be reason enough for optimism. Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was carried on by the scientists and engineers he revived. Life will never be the same in Halcyon. It is widely agreed that the colony has a chance of stabilizing within a generation, owing to the hard work and determination of the surviving colonists. Recovery is a distant goal, and the path is long and uncertain. But the people of Halcyon carry on, determined as ever. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? Long after Wells passed away, you carried on his work with more energy, determination, and brilliance than he could ever muster. The years that followed were hard, but Halcyon survived by the efforts of its most promising colonists, the greatest of which was you. No one knows what's happened to Earth, and no one knows what the future has in store for Halcyon. All we know for certain is this.
Beh dai, almeno
The name of the unreliable
ce l'abbiamo fatta, no, raga?
captain,
Con un po' di
who remains
omicidi.
the subject of countless stories for years to come.
E quindi abbiamo finito anche The Outer Worlds. Bene, raga. E anche questo è finito. E che dirvi? Noi ci becchiamo a un prossimo gameplay su un altro gioco. Grazie per averlo guardato, chi l'ha guardato, e ci becchiamo. Ciao raga, alla prossima. Bella.